Has it ever happened to you that you're home alone and suddenly you hear a family member calling your name? That's one of humanity's oldest fears, and believe me, there's a reason for it. On February 27, 2026, a family in a big house was sleeping peacefully. It was 5 in the morning, and only one person was awake. The housekeeper, Lynn, was downstairs near the kitchen area when suddenly she heard this. Selene, the owner's daughter, checked the security cameras. Later, the voice was recorded both on the first floor and in the master bedroom, upstairs at exactly the same time. And as you can see on the screen, Selene's parents were sleeping deeply. They never moved. The most disturbing thing of all was the exact voice of Selene's mother. She swears this had already happened 11 days earlier at 2 in the morning. Without a doubt, something in that house is imitating the owner's voices to call other people. Let me know in the comments if you would open the door to something that sounds exactly like your own mother. Have you ever worked a night shift? Many people say that during the early morning hours, the atmosphere changes and doors to the unknown open wide. We're moving to Mexico, the location, a branch in the state of Mexico of a very famous supermarket chain, which has more than 2,000 stores all over the country. During the day, this place is full of life, lights, and families, but in the early morning hours, things change. The author of these videos is an employee assigned to the night shift, completely alone in his first recording. He tells us that he just heard a loud bang in one of the hallways, and with heavy steps and the camera in his hand turned on, he approaches to investigate.
I'm checking my expiration dates since I was assigned here in the deli and dairy section. And curiously, I heard that something fell. I really didn't get to see what it was that fell, but yes, I heard something fell. There have been noises for a while now. Some cookies fell, I think. I don't know, all of this is very strange. Some cookies fell, damn.
When he arrives, he sees products scattered on the floor, but look closely here. Out of nowhere, on the left shelf, a product shoots out into the aisle, all by itself. It doesn't fall because of gravity, it's clearly pushed by an invisible force.
I don't know, all of this is really strange. Some cookies fell, damn.
Anyone could have quit at that very moment, but he needed the job. On another night of work, he takes out his camera again, his voice trembling.
No way, I just heard like how they threw that bowl that's lying over there. Honestly, it really freaks me out to look. They just told me to stop recording them. That I should leave them alone since they'll keep bothering me. But what should I do, guys, if these things keep happening to me? What should I do? I'm not sure if I should laugh from nerves or just to keep from crying. I don't know what to do anymore. How can we leave everything behind?
This time, the silence of the place is broken by an unmistakable sound, that of a ball bouncing. Paralyzed by pure terror, the employee points toward the end of the main hallway, and there he sees it. A ball slowly crosses the darkness. No one has thrown it. There are no children, no customers, Just him and whatever it is that inhabits this place. But what he recorded a few days later went beyond all limits.
Once again, noises are being heard. Me. I was here doing the rounds, but I heard a noise in here. I don't know if something was creaking, or I don't know. That's weird, isn't it? I'm not sure what to do anymore. Everything feels strange to me on this side. I don't know what to do anymore. I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't even understand anything anymore. I think it's... What the hell? Are you kidding me? Get the hell out of here. Seriously. Son of a bitch. Is anyone there? What is that? What can you see back there? Oh, no way.
You can hear a blood-curdling scream. The worker runs away cursing, terrified by the sound of footsteps coming toward him. In a place where, I repeat, he is completely alone. He gathers his courage and follows the sound of those ghostly footsteps. He reaches a very narrow hallway and carefully looks at the floor. There is a single tall rubber boot standing in the middle of the path. Suddenly, and without warning, the boot falls forward, right in front of him, as if someone invisible had taken a step and dropped the shoe.
What can be seen back there at the end? Oh, no way.
According to his latest updates, this worker begged for a change and luckily now only works the day shift. No one knows what happened with the night shift after that. What do you think is really lurking in this supermarket? And tell me, would you agree to work there at 3 in the morning? Answer me one question. Do you feel safe in your own home? Think twice before you answer. This case comes from Russia. Henry is a father who was recording a sweet, everyday moment with his young son in the room. Everything seemed normal, an innocent scene. But take a close look here. The most chilling thing about all of this is that neither the father who was recording nor the child noticed anything at all. Many internet users claimed it was a doll, but Henry completely denied it. There were no dolls of that size in that house, and it was strictly just the two of them. Paranormal experts claim that small children, since they don't have a defined barrier between this world and the other, are beacons of light for wandering entities. Was this spectral woman attracted by this little one? Her gaze, full of resentment, chills us to the bone. Tell me something. The next time you're alone in your room, are you sure there's no one watching you from the other side of your door? They say that objects we are very attached to, especially children's belongings, can become vessels, like sponges that absorb energies or invite entities from beyond. This next protagonist is Hannah, mother of 2 children. She had never been interested in the paranormal, but in February of this same year, 2026, she experienced something that broke her psychologically. It all started with a deafening noise in her own home. In her own words, it was neither human nor animal.
It was very strange. It happened in the middle of the night. It was a very, very loud bang in my house. We looked for what it was. We searched everywhere and we couldn't figure out what it was. Basically, I decided to put Bakara in my house because if it's not a human and it's not an animal, it has to be from the other side of the world, you know? It sounded like someone was stomping or like someone was falling, like a big person was falling to the ground.
It was like a huge, heavy person had fallen from a great height. Terrified, Hannah started playing audio recordings of Quran recitations on her phone to try to drive away whatever had entered her house. But when she reached her children's room, she found the nightmare.
Then I thought, it can't be, it must be my eyes. So I'm looking at it, my son comes, he's looking at it too. We both look at each other, we're like, I don't know. Let's use the camera. So we use the camera, and we see that this toy was moving its eyes.
The camera focuses on a stuffed toy lying on the bed. The chanting echoes in the background, but look at its eyes. The stuffed toy's eyes move slowly, trembling as if they were scanning the room and finally staring directly at the camera. Look again, it's completely creepy. Many skeptics said it was a mechanical toy, however. Hannah uploaded detailed photographs of the doll shortly after. The eyes were simple pieces of fabric sewn with threads. There was no mechanism, no batteries. It was designed to be static. It was her daughter's favorite toy, and overwhelmed by panic, Hannah decided to open the stuffed animal to see what was inside, and then she threw it in a dump far from her home. What did Hannah record at that moment? The exact instant when a dark entity took possession of her little daughter's doll. No one knows if the entity left with this toy or if, on the contrary, it still lives in that house. Tell me, what would you have done with that stuffed animal? Have you ever wondered what your body does while your mind is deeply asleep? The security cameras in an apartment captured something completely unexplainable. It's early morning. The tenant gets up to drink water from his dispenser. It's just another night, but hell breaks loose in the next second. Listen and watch this. The man starts convulsing violently, losing all control. He falls heavily to the floor, and suddenly, his body arches into an unnatural bridge. He starts crawling on the floor like a spider with a twisted spine. An impossible and very grotesque posture. He looks like a puppet being controlled by invisible strings. The next morning, the manager watched the video in horror and showed it to the boy. He didn't remember anything at all. The internet quickly became divided. Skeptics claim that it's an extreme and terrifying case of sleepwalking, but the more believing ones insist that they witnessed a temporary possession. A demon, a spirit that took control of the vehicle while the soul was asleep. It doesn't matter what you believe because the reality is chilling. Is there another you inside of you? Do you think it was just a simple sleep disorder? Or that something dark used him as its toy that night? A warning to all night drivers who are listening to me. This story will chill your blood. Ken, an Uber driver, always documents his rides, and one night he received a request from a user named Betty. The pickup location, Lincoln Cemetery. Ken arrived at the exact spot. The cemetery was deserted and the darkness was absolute.
We're going to pick up a passenger named Betty at Fort Lincoln Cemetery. So we're in a cemetery and we have a passenger to pick up. I'm going to pick up this person named Betty. And there she is. And it's a cemetery and there's no one here. So we'll find out what's going on. don't know if this is a good idea or not. But we'll go find out what's going on around here. It's kind of crazy. It's crazy. My app says I'm here. Let's start calling again. This call is being recorded. I canceled the trip because no one is here. No, there's no one here.
Look closely around, there's not a single living soul. Literally, Ken decides to call the passenger, hoping that maybe it's someone visiting a grave very late. Listen to this. When the call connects, it's not Betty's voice you hear, but an unnatural static noise. And then, a disembodied voice floating near the car, an ominous whisper. Ken wisely cancels the ride and drives away as fast as he can. Many users claim to have found tombstones with Betty's name in that same cemetery. Entities that cannot leave their resting place and try to call out to the living. What do you think could have happened if Ken had gotten out of the car to look for her?
This call is being recorded. I canceled the trip since no one is here. No, there's no one here.
This footage will make you think twice before getting into a river, no matter how calm it looks. Some friends were recording an idyllic picnic day in South Korea. The water was calm. One of them is walking along the wet stone shore. It looks like she's just going to slip. A very common accident, but pay attention to her reaction when she falls. She falls violently, but when she gets up, her face is pure panic. She's shaking and claims through tears that someone or something grabbed her ankle with incredible force and pulled her toward the water. If we watch the video frame by frame, there's absolutely no one under the surface. No one is touching her. However, in Asian culture and in many parts of the world, there is the terrifying legend of drowned spirits. Condemned souls that wander along riverbeds, waiting to grab the legs of the living to drag them to the bottom and take their place. The blind terror reflected on this girl's face is too real to be just a simple joke. Was it just a treacherous current, or pale, icy hands that emerged from the mud to drag her to the bottom? You decide. Terror can invade even the most sacred place, your own home. Lauren and her daughter Sarah had been hearing noises, heavy footsteps, and banging on the wood for weeks.
We just heard it. What did you hear? Did you hear it? I just heard banging coming from the end of the hallway.
I heard footsteps too.
And one night in the kitchen, a guttural voice with no visible body clearly whispers the name Sarah.
Sarah, did you want a snack? You said you wanted a snack?
I didn't say I wanted one, but I guess I'll accept a snack.
Okay.
Do you want me to help you make it?
Did you hear that?
Meow?
No, it sounded like that noise you heard before.
The tension is unbearable. Someone or something is trying to get in. He closes the door to escape from the entity, thinking he's safe in the bathroom, but the moment he locks the latch, he hears it again. The entity's breathing is right there with her. Lauren and her daughter had to leave the house in the middle of the night and stay at a hotel, A rather abrupt ending to a night they will never forget. Ghost, demon, or trapped energy. As always, I'll leave the final judgment to you. For this entry, I'm going to ask you to sharpen your eyes. Sometimes the camera is able to capture specters that are in the same room with us, breathing right next to us, without us even realizing it. This image was shared on Twitter around the year 2021. The woman who posted it was in her father's old apartment, who had passed away some time before. She regularly went to the place to clean and do some renovations. That day, she took several photos to see the progress of the before and after. When she took the photo, she was completely alone in the apartment, which was silent. But when she got home and checked her gallery, her blood ran cold. Look closely. In the image, we see an empty apartment. The furniture has been removed. One of the walls is completely covered with mirrors, and there we can see the reflection of the woman taking the photo. But if you look right behind her, near the wooden door, you see it. There's a tall black figure standing there, a dark and unfathomable silhouette, watching her just a few inches away from her back. I repeat, she was absolutely alone, locked inside that apartment. There are no tricks of light. It's not a smudge on the mirror. It's a physical presence that projects darkness. Some users on social media claim that it's the spirit of her late father watching over her, but others insist that Shadow has a shape that's far too sinister to be human. It was never known if she ever set foot in the apartment again. But what do you think is really hiding in this image? Is it a protective father or something ominous that was lurking in the darkness? Thank you for watching the video up to this point. Only the brave make it this far. Leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more horror. Have some good nightmares.